Hey guys, Gary G with Xtreme Pool Challenge. We're here with Gregory of Perfect Pockets, the master of building pool tables.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing fantastic. So, what's new with you as far as, you showed me the shop and you took me a walk around and gave me a little tour, and I see you got a lot going on, but any new projects or just steady work?
Just steady work, just work that I have to get out that, you know, when this gets out, they'll be saying, why aren't you working on my table? You know, people don't understand that, you know, it's more to what I do than just make a table.
Right.
People that order a table from me, which is great, they think next Thursday my table's coming.
Yeah,
It don't work like that.
You're not going to Home Depot and buy a box.
I mean, they don't understand when I make a mistake and the Italian comes out at me and I throw the rail out in the driveway and I got to start on a brand new rail.
Right.
You know, but they don't understand that. And then if I get a road call, that stops me from working in the shop, because I'm not going to come after the road and go in the shop. I'm all in for the day.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have to understand that, and some of them do. But again, like I said, it's not like Diamond. Diamond, boom, boom, boom. They get orders, they got money, they got this, that. You know, I get money coming in for this job to get that job out.
Right.
So it's just, it's just changing hands.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. And you try to explain that to them.
Yeah, some people get it, some people don't. You're a one-man, you do it all yourself, and that's why your work is precision. You're not a Brunswick or a Diamond where you have the assembly line and you have the people that just stand there in one booth and just, this is my job, I do this one particular thing all day.
Right.
You have really taken the pool table mechanics to a new height of unparalleled, really.
Well, we're trying that. You know, that's funny you say that, because Greg Sullivan right now, the owner of Diamond, had just gotten into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he crossed the bridge that he never in his wildest dream expected.
Right.
And great, it's great for him. We talked about this. There's a lot of people out there today that it's so easy to get in business to fix these tables. You go to Walmart, you buy a couple of wrenches, a couple of screwdrivers, blam, I'm in business.
Yeah, I'm a mechanic.
Exactly. Because the home people don't really understand or know anything about pool tables.
Right.
These people are educated people that done well, played pool in college a couple of times, got hustled and remember it, want to play again, okay? Now, when they buy a table, they have no clue what they're buying.
Right.
They don't care. They want a pool table. That's what they know. Now they get Joe the bum that comes in and puts their table together. They see this table's, oh, there's no rips in the cloth. The ball bounces. It goes in. Oh, you've done a beautiful job.
Right.
They don't know.
Right.
And that's why Greg, to get back to him, and I have discussed very intensely now for 2 years to train people to quit destroying tables.
Right.
You don't have to be a total mechanic. Okay, a mechanic can do anything with a pool.
Sure.
If you can just train these installers to properly set the frame, properly glue the seams of the slate and keep them from popping, index the cloth to make it straight, to cover the pockets inside so there's no big spots that you see in there,
Right.
to not have wrinkles under the rails. Some people fold the side cloth in front, and I mean, I've just seen some amazing shit, and nothing can amaze me anymore. I've seen it all.
I'm sure you have.
So we're talking about trying to do something there.
And that's really big, because if you educate people to do it the proper way, whether it's in the same way with the cue builders, we all know there's great cue builders, and then there's guys that are not so good, and there's the guys that just do the tip work and clean up the ferrules, and that's your average guy that's going to come in and maybe recover it. He's not a full table mechanic, much like I'm not a full cue, but I'm a repair guy.
Absolutely.
But if they're taught the right way, and that's kind of where you come in with educating them. And
right, and that's what Greg and I spoke about. Now, here's the problem. You got to figure out how you can I don't want to say unionize, or I don't even know what you would call it, to try to get everybody in a group to try to get the prices to be the same, okay?
Right.
Okay, because you're always getting undercut. Everybody's undercutting everybody. The biggest way the mechanic or installer gets the job today, he comes into you, you're the homeowner, Gary, this is your pool table. He comes into you, oh man, look at this guy did, this guy's an idiot that did your table. They don't know who done the table, they don't care. That's how they get your job, they badmouth the other guy.
Of course.
Okay, so now they get the job, and they're worse than that guy.
I've seen a lot of that, yeah. We all have.
That's the problem, okay? So how do you separate this guy that wants $100 and then you get a Mark Gregory that wants $275?
Right.
You know, how do you justify that $175 difference?
Right.
Well, Mark Gregory's really good at what he does. Who gives a shit? I'll take the guy for $100. I don't need that. My customers don't know the difference between a good table and a bad table. Now, I hear that all the time. That's such bullshit.
Right.
I mean, these APA and PCA players of today and stuff like that, these guys, and I played everybody in the world and their brother, okay? And I played them all. These guys know more about pool cues and tips and stuff than I ever knew in my life.
Right.
These people are actually educated. They might not be at my level of play at one time in my life, but man, they know all about the table. They know the cushions. They know the way a ball should bang. They know the cue sticks. What wood? I don't know none of that shit. I pick up a stick and I play pool. There's no this burrow wood and all that. What is that? I don't care.
Modern technology, and everybody's a pro because of the internet and YouTube.
Well, how can you have a pool room and justify saying that these people don't know a good table from a bad table? That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
They're just too cheap to get a quality job.
Right.
And that's why mechanics, or what they call themselves a mechanic, they come in and destroy your pool table.
Mm-hmm.
A pool table should last forever.
Right.
If it's
Taken care of.
maintenance correctly.
And that's pretty much anything. I mean, your car, your whatever it is, if you take care of it properly, it's going to last you a lifetime.
Absolutely.
But again, like you said, a lot of the guy that just used to play in college and had the family, but now he's just a homeowner. He's like, yeah, I'm just a recreational guy. I don't need it to be dead nuts perfect. I just need it to be okay.
They don't know.
They don't know.
And you know the best part about it is, they'll shoot a ball down the rail, down the corner, it'll roll off 3 or 4 inches, and they'll laugh. They'll say, did you see that ball?
Yeah, they think it's funny.
Yeah, you let a pool player do that. Oh man, this is bullshit. They want to kill the guy.
That just costs me a lot of money. I mean, potentially.
That's a good point, what you said. And that's what got, I got a table when I was 13 years old. I started playing pool when I was 9. Okay, I got a pool table when I was 13. My dad put it in there. And I always maintenance the table myself, which was a hack job. I'm 13 years old, 14 years old. I have no clue.
But that's how you learn.
That's how I started getting involved in this, because I wanted my table, I wore a cloth out to the slate.
Right.
So I got to change it. I can't pay nobody. I didn't even know you could pay someone. You know what I mean? I'm just changing it myself. But anyways, long story. We go into where I started gambling in my life and playing pool and going on the road. And I always told myself, when I'm done playing pool, I'm going to fix these fucking tables right. Because I bet my last dollars on some of the biggest pieces of shit you ever seen in your life. I mean, talk about a ball rolling off.
Right.
I mean, it was just disgusting.
Yeah.
And when you're on the road, and you're betting your last $30 and you haven't eaten all day, and you don't have a hotel room, and you slice the 9 down the rail, and it hits something underneath the cloth and takes off to the middle of the pocket, it's really frustrating. So I swore, I said, listen, when I do this, I'm not setting out to be the best, but I'm gonna do the best job on a pool table that I can do.
Sure.
So that's what made me.
And that's kind of how it kind of motivated you to get started in this industry, and now you become considerably the best in the country.
Well, you know, again, I like when the people say the best, because there's no such thing as the best. There's always someone else out there.
We can always learn from somebody else. We all have.
Listen, everybody has ideas.
And there's other good
Absolutely.
mechanics out there. What you're doing is taking it to a new level as far as you're building your own rails, you're building your own tables, basically, which, I mean, there's not, I mean, other than the industry, Diamonds and the Brunswicks and stuff, and the old houses, there's not a whole lot of people that do what you do to your level.
Well, you're right, and to further understand, see, Diamond and them people are, they're manufacturers.
Right.
They're assembly lines, bing, 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 bing. So what I do, I have the time to do, spec out everything, and my rails are made by hand, so everything's spot on. So I'm the guy that spots what's wrong with diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Sullivan's been to my house here 5-6 times. I say, look, Greg, you're doing this one. I mean, not now, but years back, Diamond's corner pockets were 1/4 inch off center.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever knew that. Now they do. Okay, but we corrected it.
Right.
But when you push a button, you know,
Yeah. That guy at the assembly line don't care.
you push a button, it's cutting everything, and then there's the pull tape. Looks great.
Yeah, the machine does it.
Right. Same as Brunswick.
No credibility.
Right. I designed this table. It's Gold Crown 5. I designed this for them because they made so many mistakes on the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did I get money for it? I got some tables and some other shit, but no. But, you know, it's nice to know that this is a solid table.
You can look at something and say, this was my design.
Yeah.
Or you fine-tuned it for them.
I fine-tuned it. I
Yeah.
changed a lot on it. You can't say you designed a table for Brunswick. I designed
Right.
this, you know, I make different changes to the original Gold Crown.
You tweaked it to make it perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Or
It really
as
is.
good as they, possible.
They made no changes on this table on the 6.
No.
So that tells you something. They made a change on the 1 to the 2, from the 2 to the 3, the 3 to the 4, the 4 to the 5. The 5 is the same as the 6.
No, there's something to be said about what you brought to their attention that they fixed.
Either they're too dumb to know how to change something, or they're happy with what they got.
Well, the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
And if you've got something that is pretty much perfect, then, you stick with it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's, it's a great table. It's a great table.
They really are, the Brunswick Gold Crown 5s really are nice tables, beautiful looking. And it goes to the traditional, what we grew up with, or what the older generation knows. Newer generations, and I laugh because I say anybody in their 40s and younger wants the diamonds. Anybody 40, 45 and older wants the Gold Crown because that's what you grew up with.
That's exactly.
That's what your mind says, that's the real deal.
Give Greg Sullivan a lot of my hats off to him.
Oh, they did great.
He pushed Brunswick aside because of tournaments, and tournaments are what sold his product,
Mm-hmm.
and he's never looked back. He just got, like I said, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He could never cut a ball in the corner correctly, you know what I mean? I mean, he played okay. Greg, I won't say that, he played okay.
He kind of changed the industry is what he did.
Sure.
And that's what he's recognized for, is his foresight to look forward
Absolutely.
and say, you know what, I'm not reinventing the wheel, but I'm going to make the wheel a whole lot better.
Right, exactly.
And more useful towards tournament setups and the whole design of it. So,
Absolutely.
and you know what, there's credit to be there, and he deserved it, and that's why he's in that Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he puts on a lot of tournaments. He done something, 2 things that no one has ever done. One, he bought a 1-piece slate where he can flip it in, flip it out, bring it in, bring it out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So as quickly as he can bring it in, he can take it out.
Right.
And that's amazing for a tournament, and that's what's great.
Yeah.
Secondly, and this is what's really amazing, he gets players because of the low entrance fee and the action that is at the Derby City.
Oh, good.
He gets 500 people playing in a bank tournament. Okay?
Incredible.
These guys only bank balls because they miss them in the pocket. All right? So, I mean, no, you understand what I'm saying. But the catch is, if you play in any tournament, you get a free pass the whole tournament.
Yes.
So that's Greg's a very intelligent man.
Obviously.
Push the tables aside. Forget diamond beers.
Right.
Greg's a very intelligent, he was a school teacher, he was a math teacher.
Oh,
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yes, he's a
There you
very
go.
intelligent guy. Yes, he is. He's just very passionate about pool. But he's got some great ideas that he come up with the Derby City, with the buybacks, you don't have to pay,
Right.
you don't have to pay the full amount. Instead of paying $250, you pay $125. If you want to buy back in, you can. But that guy's gonna play in that bank pool tournament because now he's got access to the whole venue.
That was me when I went.
That's a wonderful thing. Where do you get that? Now, what I told Greg, and he should add this. I've got a lot of phenomenal ideas, but I don't do anything with any of them. Spectators only, okay? Or if you get knocked out of the tournament early with one buyback, okay? With no buyback, you don't have to buy back. If you buy in one time, you get knocked out, you don't add anything to that. And all the spectators, all the people that come in that are just coming to watch the tournament. Before the 8 o'clock matches, he should call someone's number out of the audience and say, look, if you make a spot shot, you win a brand new Simone's cloth.
Beautiful.
You see what I mean? Now, they can use it on their table or sell it.
Right.
$250 immediately someone's going to buy it.
Oh,
Okay? Now, say you want to give them a Steve Lomax jump cue or a Steve Lomax cue or any cue, whoever wants
to sponsor that.
Exactly.
Take order of it.
Now you make it a little tougher. You say you got to make a spot shot in the left corner and the right corner.
Nice.
Okay. Now, what that's going to start is if you and I and Gary Patrick and 20 of our friends are there, and Gary Patrick's name gets called for the cue, and he goes out there and he misses the first spot shot. We're going to give him all kind of shit.
Oh yeah, we're
Because
gonna
if he'd have
rank
called me,
Yeah.
I'm going to make both of them. I guarantee you, dog, you suck.
Of course.
But it's,
You're ribbing your buddy for sure.
for the first time, they're going to make the audience involved.
Interactive.
That's right. Now, what's wrong? That's a great idea. And these guys are going to give that stuff up. Simonis would give up the cloth. Easy.
Absolutely.
I mean, how great would that be to go up there and how nerve-wracking would it be if you got Efren and Randy
You're at the
against
feature table, of the Accu-Stats table.
and they're waiting for the match, and you get called out to come up there to shoot a spot shot.
Right.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's kind of like you see it on basketball all the time. They have 4 shots.
There you go.
You know, here you got, all the great players sitting on the sideline. They're rooting for you.
Absolutely.
They're rooting for you.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't they?
How would you like to win a Steve Lomax cue? $3,000 cue or something like
I
that.
would love.
And let it roll over.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, now they can do it every night.
Sure.
Before, like twice, like before the 8 o'clock match, before the 10 o'clock match.
Yeah, why not?
Okay? And do it every single night.
Sure.
Well, someone might not win the cue.
Right.
Someone might not, it rolls over. You start getting too much merchandise.
No, on the high-end stuff, you would say, okay, well, we're going to do it for four or five nights, and then we're going to have a finals amongst all the winners for the high-end stuff. And then, like you say, if you make yours, you're going to win a racquetball, a set of balls, or
Sure.
But, great idea.
That'd be a hell of an idea. I mean, just for, listen, if I wasn't a decent player, they called my name out there, I might drop the cue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, going back to you and growing up, a lot of people don't know that you are really a pro-level player.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. They just know you as, you're that great table mechanic guy.
Well, those champions of that bus didn't know it.
They know.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few out there that say, that guy's the real deal.
I got beat by a lot of them too, but yeah, I played them all. I mean, I really did. I mean, I played them all.
So you grew up, you started in the Pittsburgh area, that's where you were from, so that's where you learned pool. Growing up in the Pittsburgh area, now like Billy and Cardona from the Pittsburgh area.
Jimmy Marino?
Jimmy Marino still has a pool room there, I believe.
No, he's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jimmy passed.
He passed.
Jimmy passed.
But he did have a pool room there.
Great player. Billy was a great player. Billy was before my time. I
Okay.
seen Marino play, but there was another guy. What the hell was his name? How did I?
Don Steele?
No.
Because he had a room there.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good player. He's a good player. Yeah, he was a pro player. No, this is Bernie Schwartz.
Bernie Schwartz. Never
His
heard
name
the
was
name.
Bernie Schwartz. He was the best of all of them.
Really?
Oh, yes, he was. He was better than Billy and Jimmy. Jimmy Marino was world champion in '72.
Wow.
He won at the Jansco Brothers.
Okay.
He won the tournament there. He's all-around player.
Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy Marino was world champion.
That's
And
how strong that Pittsburgh area is.
Bernie Schwartz was better. And Billy dear friend of mine, Billy Cardona.
Yeah, great.
He'll vouch for, he's the one who told me.
Wow,
So for Billy to say that,
there's credibility.
and Billy, listen, Billy's, anything comes out of his mouth is the truth.
Right.
Trust me, Billy's solid as they come.
Right.
Trust me, he is. And no one took a loss harder than Billy.
Right.
He was a great player too, but no one took a loss harder. But he told me about him and what Bernie Schwartz did. He got into some kind of business and just made filthy money and never looked back and never went back to pool.
He was smart.
Well,
Probably.
not so many people get that opportunity.
That's right.
Petey Margot,
Yeah.
he made tons of money on Blockbuster.
Right.
Yeah, he made.
So, like, who was your influence coming up as a young kid, kind of going into pool rooms? Or were you even allowed in the pool rooms at that time, or were you kind of sneaking in, skipping school like a lot of the degenerate players?
I did. They
Yeah.
took me out of school so many times to play people and never got no money. I didn't think, I was happy to play, didn't understand what I was doing, and they were taking the money.
Sure. Well, you're a young kid, you're just having fun.
They didn't give me $1. I didn't think about
Buy a
it.
Coke and ice cream or nothing?
Listen, they had a little grocery store, I'll never forget it, and it had an anniversary, and that's why I do them tables.
Oh, wow.
Anniversary, it had an old anniversary in there. And there were so many neighbor kids that we were all friends. They had a chalkboard, you sign your name on it, okay? It was 10 cents a game.
Nice.
The loser pays.
Okay.
But you would sit there for hours on end to wait for your turn,
Yeah.
and then lose and pay your dime and sit there and sit there.
So
and
you
sit
did
there.
everything you could not to
Oh,
lose.
oh my God. But I never won.
Right.
Okay. And then on Saturdays, they would have the good players. It's Richie Highlands, Albert Dent. Albert Dent was a hell of a pool player in my hometown. He was this guy here could cut a ball like, better than anybody on the planet. Okay. He was left-handed, and he could really play. But they would come in there on Saturday afternoon. There was like 4 or 5 of them, and they would play a quarter on the 5 and 50 cents on the 9.
Okay.
Well, I would do whatever I had to do to get something like $3, $4, and I'd get in that game. Never did I get nothing, no pay ball. I mean, I'd make the 2 and the 3 or miss the 4. I'd make the 7 or the 8, miss the 8. You know, I just never even, I don't think I ever even shot at a pay ball. Okay? I mean, I'm in the local sector. I'm the youngest one. I'm like 13 years old, 14 years old playing with these guys. They're all 22, 23.
Sure.
They're robbing me. But I only got $2 or $3, and they're laughing. So one day, I finally made the 5 ball. I was so proud, man. I finally made the 5 ball. They said, no, we're not playing on a 5 today. We're playing just 50 cents on a 9. I was sick, man. I was like, man, I was so happy. And again, that was the end of it. I was broke again.
So you learned your first rule of getting hustled.
Yeah. I finally made the 5. I was so, I couldn't wait to miss the 6 to get paid. You know what I mean? I wanted that 40. Then they said, we're not playing on the 5. I said,
Oh, no.
that's something.
That's crazy.
But that anniversary, speaking of that, that's what got me into doing the anniversary tables, which I just put one in New York. I had my friends, Oscar and Christian, that work for Pat O'Donnell, Pool Tables 911. They took it to New York and set it up at a $37 million home. Okay.
Wow.
Now, the whole time I'm talking to the guy about this table, you know, can we get it ready? I had a year to make it. Can we get it ready by March 3rd? Because we're having a big party, Cinco de Mayo, the 5th. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so it's ready. They're going to drive it up there. They're going to set it up March 3rd. Well, lo and behold, Oscar calls me and says, you're not going to believe this. Now, the guy that I talked to, I can't remember, his name was Mike, so I know, I still have his number. I thought he was the owner of the table. Well, here it turns out that he was the interior decorator, okay? Well, he sees this table after it's installed, and Oscar and I they said, listen, Oscar calls me up and said, listen, man, I don't want you to be nervous or anything. He said, but this table's going on a $60,000 Oriental rug. Why didn't you call me after you put it up? You know, why do I got to stress this for the next 5 or 6 hours until you call me and say, okay, we're done, you know? But I got pictures of it. It's such a super, and the wife loved it. The guy that owns it does something in the film industry. And the interior decorator called me. He said, you know, do you work for Black's Billiards? I said, no, I make that table myself. That's custom made. He said, man, it's just so gorgeous. He said, we see a lot of tables, but I've never seen one like this. He said, I'm going to the Hamptons within the next 6 months. He said, I'll call you if I can get one sold. So that was only, 4 or 5 months ago.
Wow, beautiful.
And so maybe, I'll get lucky and hear from him. And
Sure.
I mean, the guy paid $22,000 for the table. Okay. And I gave him a discount, it's 25. Okay, I sell the table for 25, and he says, can I get any kind of deal? I said, yeah, I said, if you really want one, I said, I'll go at 22.5. He said, done. He said, what do you need for a deposit? I said, send 8,000. It was in the mail in 2 days.
Wow.
So I said, man, this guy's serious.
But do you have any friends?
Yeah. So I started making the table and everything, but now it goes into a $37 million home. What the fuck kind of discount? What? What is that all about? I didn't eat for 3 days.
Meanwhile, he's jet setting around the world, and he has one of the most beautiful tables on the planet in his castle.
Table turned out absolutely stunning.
But a lot of times money is the important part, but when you look at that, it's that pride that you go, I just built one of the most beautiful tables.
To be honest with you, that's all it is, Gary.
Yeah, that internal gratification really is probably more so than, money, yeah, we all need the money.
Say I got 8 or 10,000, say I got 8,000 in it, okay? What do we got left, 14,000?
Right.
Okay, divide 14 in 12 months.
Yes, so you're making $1,100 a month, if you're lucky. And that doesn't take into the consideration of all the tools that you've had to spend, the bits and all the nuances that people don't take into consideration.
Well, they say, why do I do what I do? And I tell them 2 reasons. I said, one, I like living indoors.
Yeah.
I said, secondly, I don't want to be a Walmart greeter.
Yeah, you might not make it as the best Walmart greeter.
There'd be lawsuits immediately.
Mark, you're fired.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so, what else you got going on? Obviously, you don't, we talked earlier, you did play in the Big One Pocket tournament at Buffalo's last year.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, right here. And you said, obviously, you didn't play well because you didn't go there for the tournament, you went there to work, and you're like, well, I'm here, I'm going to go play.
I went to donate the money back.
And you said you worked around the clock and then played, so you were shot out, but do you even just get out locally and go compete,
No.
Just once in a while in a local tournament or nothing? No?
Not for the last, probably the last 8 or 10 years I haven't played.
Not even all, huh?
No, this table here, if it shows up on camera, I don't know if it shows up.
Part of it.
Okay. What is this? 30 feet from my bedroom?
Yeah.
I come up the top of the steps, I make
You
a left
never see
every
it.
time. I
Never
make a
see
left
it.
every time. People say, what kind of cue? I said, if it's still over there, I don't know.
It's funny is a lot of people get tables in their house, and a few pool players, but it's like having a home gym. It doesn't motivate you at home that much. It's hard to get that money. For me, I want to go to the pool room because it motivates me when I see people.
Well, if I was going to compete, then I would hit balls.
Right.
But I'm not, the last match I had was with that John Hager Jr. I don't know if you know who that is.
I know the name.
He's from Texas, and I played him a big 1 pocket set.
Okay.
And we played a race to 6, win by 2.
Okay.
The first one to win 3 sets.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, that was a marathon.
it went 2-2, so it took 5 days.
Wow.
Okay, and the best part, is to tell a true story about a pool player's life. I'm getting staked. We're betting 18,000. Okay, it's 2-2, and we're playing a time limit. We start at 8 o'clock at night. We end at 4 in the morning. Well, when I tied it up 2-2, 2 sets apiece, it was like 1 o'clock. So we still have 3 more hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the next 3 hours, he beats me 3 games in a row.
Oh my
The
goodness.
final set, a race to 6.
Oh, wow.
So he needs 3 games and I need 6. 4 o'clock strikes, the game's over. My stake horse, he comes over to me and he says, listen. He said, do you have any bills? What's going on? Is the rent paid? And I said, no, of course not. He said, well, what do you need? I said, the car payment's due, the rent's due, the dog's eating in the dark because they shut the electricity off, I'm trying to add shit up because I know what he's going to do. He's a big time gambler. This guy plays in the World Series of Poker. $2,000, $3,000 to him is like a $20
Yeah, it's nothing,
tip,
yeah.
okay? So he says to me, he says, take this 2,000, get up early in the morning, pay all your bills, get a good nap, get something good to eat, and come in at 8 o'clock, get ready to play. I said, all right. He said, listen, if you win, we'll take the 2,000 off the top. If you lose, you owe me $2,000, we'll get it back some other time. How can you beat that for a stake horse?
Yes, you can't beat that. That's somebody that has a lot of faith and trust in you,
Oh, yeah.
which is what you want in your corner. You need
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. So, you know, the fairy tale ending. I paid all the bills, I come down there, I beat him 6 games in a row.
No shit.
I mean, you know, talk about, you know, I come with the eye of the tiger.
Well, you came with peace of mind too.
Absolutely, I'm relaxed now. Now I'm down on a ball. If it goes in, okay. I mean, I'm trying my best, but I'm not overcutting the rent.
Right.
I'm not thinking, oh shit, if I don't make this, I don't get to cut up this pie. You know, now I gotta ask him, hey, can you pay my rent? Maybe he says no.
Right.
Now what?
Yeah.
You know, I went through that. Listen, I was with my girlfriend. We're coming back from Vegas. We're so broke. We're on a highway, and we're in Texas, and we're coming off, and I'm gonna run out of gas. This is the God's honest truth. You can't make shit like this up. And I'm gonna run out of gas. He said, I gotta get off the exit. She's like, oh my God, you know, I'm driving this big old black Cadillac. I get off the exit. I'm in Odessa, Texas. I have no idea where Odessa, Texas is. Where's that? I get off the exit. I'm coasting. The car shuts off. I'm like, holy shit. I'm trying to steer it. The light turns green and I coast right through into a parking lot, and I pull into the front of the complex there, and it says Odessa Billiards. Is this amazing? I mean, this is like I'm lying. This is the God's honest truth.
Right out of a movie.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I open up the doors, me and Tina go in. There's 3 people in there. Now, I've just been playing pool in Vegas, and I'm playing old timers 8 o'clock in the morning because I don't have not a penny.
Right.
Okay? And I say, do you want to practice for $5 a game? And they say, yeah, sure. The old timers $5 a game. I said, do you want to just slide the coin to 4 games and just pay off every 20? Yeah. Well, I don't have 20. He can't beat me 4 in a row. There's no possible way this guy can get 4 ahead of me. So the move there, I'm getting the rent money. So now we go and we're here in front of Odessa. Walk in, there's 3 people there. I said, oh shit. You know, I don't have no money.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I was looking for an idiot that I can maybe talk into a game and
Sure.
play on air. This guy comes walking straight at me. Looks at me. Hey, Mark Gregory, how you doing? I'm like, fuck is this? You know, there's 3 fucking guys here.
You're in the middle of no man's land.
3 guys in a pool room, and this guy knows me. What the? Are you kidding me? He says, what's going on? I said, man, listen. I said, I'm done now. And it's like I got handcuffs on. I said, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I said, you know, car's out of gas. I got no money. We haven't eaten. He said, no problem. He said, listen, go fill up your gas tank. He said, get a room and get something to eat. He said, here's $150. I don't know this guy. I don't have no idea who this guy is.
Wow.
He gives me $150 and says, meet me back here tonight. I'll get you some action. We'll get pumped up. Okay? We went at 8, you know, it's like 9 o'clock. We didn't sleep. You know, we got a room and everything, got showered up.
But you're relaxed, you feel a little fresh.
Right. Go over there. Now he takes us out to all these little redneck little bars. And we're just beating we went 3,600 in these little, he's like, listen, man, stick around. He goes, I got some better spots. I said, man, I can't take it. I left. I couldn't take it. That ain't the hustling that I did.
Right.
You know, I went in, Johnny Archer said, you want to play? Let's get it on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I couldn't take that.
That's not your style. You're not there to lay it down.
I couldn't take it, man. I mean, I'm playing people for $20 a game that don't even know the fucking rules. You know?
But you know what? You did what you had to do. You made your
Well, I
money.
needed that money,
You got you back on the road.
Exactly.
So you walked out of there with a nice little pocket.
I have to tell you this one. Parika wins the tournament out there. Jose Parika.
Yeah.
He wins the tournament, $25,000. And like I said, I was hustling these people. You know, it's 11 o'clock at night. No one's there. Don't have a quarter in my pocket. Nothing. We're standing there. I'm like, man, I'm just so frustrated. So, you know.
Right.
Prickett comes in. I said, what's up, Pineapple? He said, no, man. He said, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. I said, what? He said, I spent all the money. He spent $25,000 on the dice table. Woo! $25,000. Now listen, I played Prickett 6 times in pro events. Okay, and I have to say this because it leads up to the story. He has never beat me in a pro tournament. And Brickett's a superstar.
One of the best.
Now, let me tell you something. Now, if he caught me in the back room for 8 hours, it'd beat my nuts in. Okay? But in the tournaments,
right.
And he used to call me mini champ. He'd say, you mini champ. Every time you mini champ. I said, yeah, you going out. He said, I know. He'd go like that. So now, this guy, I'm talking to Prickett. He's standing there. This guy comes over and approaches me. He says, hey, do you want to play some warm pocket for 40 a game? Prickett, yeah, he played. Okay, Prickett's put me in. His last $80. Okay, this is a true story. I mean, you can't make shit like this up. I go over there, I'm playing the guy. I said, listen, do you want to just pay off with 2 games? He said, yeah, that'll be fine. Never done introduced, nothing. Just play a stranger. He wins the first game, I win the second game. It's going back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, everything that could go wrong for me is going wrong. Every dead ball in the stack, playing another dead ball in the stack, everything's going wrong. Back and forth, back and forth. I said, fuck this. I said, Tina, come here. I said, take this 20. I said, go over there and get a pack of cigarettes, get a pack of crackers, and get me a Coke. I said, I'm dying over here. I didn't have no cigarettes, no Coke, no nothing. She goes, gets it, she's carrying it back. This guy whacks me 2 in a row. Okay? Now, Parikh is up there, and he's sleeping. He's sleeping. This guy whacks me 2 in a row. I give him $60. I said, listen, man, I said, I'm sorry. That's all I got. He said, oh, it's okay. It's all right. He said, I was just looking to practice. I said, man, I appreciate that. I said, I'll see you somewhere. I'll give you 20. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I go up there and I kick Parikh up. I said, lose. Lose? He said, fuck, here's a guy who beats him all the time. No, he loses to some schmuck, okay? His last $80. I said, yeah, lose. Lose? He said, he jumps up his eyes with his thing. He said, you dumped me. He said, that's exactly what he said. Now, why I'm leading up to that story?
For $80.
Right. Prior to landing out of gas, this is when Roger Griffiths was alive. Roger Griffiths was a great player.
Yes.
I mean, I know all the players. I'm undercover to a lot of people, okay? So we stopped at Roger Griffiths' pool room. All right, I got $30. Okay, we're grinding. It's been 90% of the time where I go, I've been, people know me, I've been around. I'm talking to Roger. Roger's like, man, I fucked up myself. They said there ain't no action around. There's that guy that beat me in Vegas. I told you, I said, fuck, who's that guy? I'm going to beat his brains in. I go over to the guy and I say, hey, man, here's that 20 I owe you that I stiffed you for in Vegas. I want to square up. I said, do you want to play some more? He said, I could never play you, Mark. Now he knows me. I'm like, are you shitting me?
He beat you 2, and now he's not playing you again.
No, I gave him 20. Why did he say, now I got 10. I said, why did he say, hey, Mark, or something like that before? Now I know he knows me. He ain't getting a fucking 20. You know what I mean? I give him the 20, and oh my God. I mean, is that a story? And landed in Odessa, then that's how we ended up getting back into Dallas and everything.
It is amazing how small the pool world is.
Oh my God.
Because you can literally travel, like you said, you're halfway across the country, and you're going to walk into some podunk. Hey, Mark, how you been? How's the dogs? What's new?
If you had seen my face when that guy said, hey, Mark Gregory. I was like,
yeah, sure.
serious?
But that's the life and story of
That's
a road player in
exactly.
pool, and that's how it goes sometimes.
Exactly.
And in this day, that's the difference though, in this day and age, that's all gone. Because
the
modern
phones,
technology.
Yeah, the phones.
I mean, literally, we had a guy in West Palm, he's a solid player, GaryG from Louisiana, come in. But he come down with a couple guys to buy, they were picking up a bunch of pool tables. And these are actual room in Lake Park. I'm pretty sure. Walk into the pool room, my buddy goes, 20 minutes. All right, you and I play even 9-ball, I don't play you in this, and this, you have the line on them. But that's that, the hustle is over in this day and age, unless you are so far under the radar that you don't go to any major events.
I stayed under the radar for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I mean, I got beat by a lot of good players too. I mean,
Well, nobody gets away without losing.
sure. I mean, Alex Pageline gave me the 8 playing 10 ball and just robbed me. I mean, I don't think he could have at that time because I was playing so much one pocket and he was playing so much, you know, well, long story short, me and the guy Butch that owned Ocala Billiards, it was Big Daddy Billiards at the time.
Right.
Ron Wiseman and Alex were running together. Well, we played them partner one pocket, they gave us 10-7.
Okay.
Okay, because Butch, the guy that's my partner, he couldn't make 2 in a row if he fucking had 4 tries. Okay, so they gave us 10-7, and Alex didn't know no one pocket at all, man. I mean, 0.
Right, but he shoots great.
We're playing 500 a game. We beat him 8 games in a row.
Oh, shit.
Okay, we're up 4,000. Ron Wiseman, he's good action.
Of course.
He says, bet 1,000 a game or we're quitting. And Big Daddy didn't like that, Ron Wiseman. He said, I ain't betting no 1,000. Get in like you got out. You know, bet 500. Ron quit. He quit. He goes down here to Tampa and loses 60,000. But that Gary G, I've known him, and he comes to Ocala.
Yeah.
And he pulled one of them moves, you know, like, well, I didn't know who he was then.
Right.
Okay, but I could see. He went, rented a table in the back of the room. I could see out of the corner of my eye, watching him, bing, bing, bing. He was hitting balls pretty good. So I go back there, and I said, hey, you looking for some action? You want to play some? He said, no, I'm just hitting balls. I said, all right. So I walk back up to the counter, and I wait, and I'm talking to Big Daddy, where I from, you know. Fuck, this guy plays good. I said, I'm going back and ask him again. I went back and asked him again. He said, no, man, no, I just want to hit some balls. No. I said, okay. So now I'm pissed off. Now I'm starting to send people. I told my buddy, come here, go back here and ask that guy.
Now you just want to put the screws
Oh, yeah. He finally got to the 3rd guy I sent. He took his stick apart, man. He's fucking steaming. He left. So, you know, we never really had I never ran into him since. And I don't know if we, you know, we're friends or not. I don't know.
So, before we wrap this up, so let's get back to a little bit of the table mechanic stuff. Now, somebody said that you do like a table mechanic school.
I'm trying to. That's what Greg and I are trying to discuss right now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to put a shop in the backyard, I mean, which I showed you. You know,
Yeah.
And if we do that, I'd like to train mechanics, you know, with Greg being involved. I'm going to tell you this much. Diamond tables are the hardest, most unfriendly mechanic table there is. They're definitely mechanic unfriendly.
And why is that?
They're just the way they're built. They're very difficult to cover, to take apart, to level. The way they're designed is there's no rail behind the feather strip on the corners.
Okay.
So there a lot of cloth gets pulled up and it doesn't sit right, and if you don't know what you're doing to cover a diamond table, they'll really look ratty.
Okay.
So if you do hire someone that's not a good solid mechanic, you're not going to get a good job.
You'll know this.
Yeah.
An educated person will know the difference.
Right. On
Okay.
a Brunswick, on these home style tables, Gandys, whatever tables, they're all manufactured differently.
Okay.
They're very easy tables to recover.
So mechanic friendly.
Right, they're mechanic friendly, and diamond is definitely not. So we talked, and Greg wants me to try to train people to at least quit destroying tables.
Well, that would be a nice.
So, yeah. See, with diamond, with every table in the world other than diamonds, you can staple the cloth up.
Right.
Diamonds has to be glued.
Glue.
People tend to always go back to their roots of what do I know, what's fastest, what can I come in, you know, can I get 4 tables in, get paid for 4?
Sure.
See, they're not worried about
They're not worried about the next job, coming back and being a repeat customer. What can I get in and out now?
well, they're not worried about who's going to play on it, and you know, people are going to bet their money on this table. You got to understand, I mean, when you do a pool table, just because Sally and Tom are over there playing and they're having a good time and eating chicken wings and spilling shit, the next guy comes in there and might bet all the money he's got.
Sure, that's
So,
not a livelihood.
Yeah, you try to give him a good quality job, and that's what's not happening. If you don't use the yellow glue that they use to do dining tables, you use the spray can, it never holds the
That
cloth.
doesn't do good.
It's not good.
So that's a little good piece of information for any mechanics out there that do use the right product. Because
Oh,
it will
yeah.
it shows up in the long run, for sure.
That, and and what happens with people stapling the rails? If they use a big 5/16 staple, you should use a 1/4 inch unless the wood is eaten out.
Mhm.
And how the wood gets eaten out is when people take the staple out,
Yeah.
okay? They're not gentle with just hitting the staple. They want to dig down in there and take 2 inches of wood and pull out everything.
Yeah.
Now you got divots and now you can't get the rail staple back. So, there's so many different things that, it's so hard to try to not make someone destroy a table
Right,
trying to repair a table.
right.
How does that happen?
So, and that's what you would teach somebody proper technique for not only assembling it, for disassembling it, for future reference,
Right.
to keep the life of the table around.
Well, when someone starts paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for a pool table,
Yeah.
then you gotta buy 20 of them.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a big investment.
Sure is.
Do you want the guy sitting on your hood of your brand new car with his chain on his wallet, and you see what I mean? So.
Yeah. Pay the extra money, get it done by a professional.
Exactly, these guys are.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly, the table it should last a lifetime. Brunswick's a table that lasts a lifetime.
Well, you know as well as anybody, we've seen, and I've seen 100-year-old tables that are in great shape and they look beautiful. And then we see these modern day, overseas that fall apart in, 6 months or a year or 2 years.
Again, how do you educate the general population? That's the problem.
That's so true.
Because they first of all, the tables that they buy, they're buying a table because they played in college and they want a table and they think they want a table, and the next thing you know, it just becomes something the cat lays on, or they blow some clothes on it.
Great for folding clothes.
Yeah, so when you buy one of my tables, that's why, you're getting 1 or 2 people are gonna buy my tables. People that understand the game and want some one-of-a-kind table,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Or, the guy that has the $37 million home and says, hey, this really looks good over here. That guy's probably never gonna play a game of pool on that table. He didn't want a light over it. He set it next to French doors with no curtains on it.
Oh, no. The sun's gonna
But the
fade.
sun's gonna destroy it.
Yeah,
The sun's gonna destroy it.
that's
But,
good.
Here's a guy that can spend $22,000 every
He
couple
can, he
days.
can afford it
Yeah.
to have you come in once a year, make it fresh again.
Yeah, but it makes me, if the glue starts coming apart from the sun and it starts falling apart, I got a year's worth of work in that
You've got a
table.
lot of heart.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen.
Yes.
Billy in Cardona, we spoke of, he bought one of my Centennials.
Okay.
He's got a
Beautiful.
Centennial in his house. I took his diamond out, put a Centennial in,
Really?
and he paid $25,000 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, for a pool player to pay that, buddy, you better.
That's a lot of money for a pool player.
When I put it in, Billy said, well, I'm gonna hit balls on this for a couple of minutes. He said, because if I don't like it, I'm not paying. And that's his exact words.
And he
I
meant
said-
it.
And when I told him, I said, that's the deal. I said, if you don't like it, I said, I'll take it back out, Billy.
Yeah.
He hit balls on it for 45 minutes. He took me in the back of the machine, 20 grand.
Wow.
Now Scott Frost plays on it all the time.
Oh,
And
wow.
wants the table so bad. I think he's hoping for Billy to pass so he wills it to him or something.
So if somebody were either wanting work from you, whether it be buy a pool table or set a table up or do furbish or learn something, right? How would they contact you? Do you have your own website
I
as
do.
far as and
I
your
do.
Facebook,
Yes,
obviously,
I do.
and your phone number?
It's under Perfect Pockets with a Z.
Z at the
At
end.
the end of Pocketz.com.
Perfectpockets.com. Okay.
Or, call me. I'm on Facebook as well.
Okay.
You can call me direct. I get calls all the time. A lot of times I get rails shipped in from all over the country that I
refurbish and
Yes,
you
yes.
constantly redo the work.
What people don't understand is my price is high, it's $1,500 to do the rails. But what I do is when they send me a Gold Crown 3 or Gold Crown 4 or something that's, anniversary, centennial, where the Formica meets the cloth, I cut all that off.
Right.
So all that wood gets replaced.
Yeah, you're not just putting new rails on, you're rebuilding the sub rail and everything.
I rebuild the whole rail to play to my specs.
Right.
And that's why they mail rails into me.
Right. And I've known people I've heard people say, well, I'm sending my rails off. I'm like,
Right.
well, you know what? When they come back, they're going to be perfect.
Yeah, but the bad thing is, the good thing is I number and stamp everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when I set the pocket and mic everything in, this pocket number 1 and the casting and the rail 111,
Right.
2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4, so you can put together. But the bad thing is you get Joe the Hack, okay? Now I did a guy's centennial rails. This was probably 2 years ago. I can't remember the guy's name, I didn't know him anyways. But he wanted 4.5-inch pockets on the money, which they all demand what they want, and that's what you give them. Well, I sent the rails back, he has centennial. And I get a call. And he says, Mark, I'm really disappointed in your work. I paid a lot of money for this. I said, well, what's the matter? He said, one pocket's 4 3/4, one pocket's 4 1/8, one pocket's 4 1/8, one pocket's 4 1/4. He said, they're all over the place. First thing hits me is, you are getting old. Did you screw one up?
Right.
Is it that time? No, it don't make sense. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, the guy that did your table, I said, did he build the rails upside down on the floor like you're supposed to? Like all the pros do? He said, absolutely. See, I wanted to make sure he told me the truth. I said, there's your problem. He said, what are you talking about? I said, you can't ever build rails upside down on the floor and flip them on the table and everything be square. It's not going to happen. You have to put the rails on the table individually, loose, lock your castings in, and then lock the table down and then put your blinds on. That way the top is perfectly square and all your pockets are perfectly
Pay
matched.
attention, folks. Listen to what he's telling you.
Okay? You can't build the rail on the floor and flip it.
Right.
That's a no-no.
No.
No, okay? So I said, do you have FaceTime? He said, yes. I said, put me on FaceTime. Puts me on FaceTime. I said, show me. He's showing me the casting. The castings are sticking out this far from the back of the rail on one. The rail's sticking out that far from the other one. I mean, they're just, the whole table's.
Right, you got an old jockey.
It's all jockeying around. I said, what you're gonna have to do is loosen everything up and readjust. He said, are you kidding me? I said, no, you gotta loosen everything up.
Right.
Readjust everything until it fits properly, and then lock it back down. 3 hours later, he called me. He said, I apologize. He said, everything's on the money. Table plate's absolutely perfect. He said, I scolded the guy that put my table together. I threw him out. He said he would, this guy here went the whole 9 yards. So,
But that's educating
That's
a
right.
homeowner that, and obviously he's a pool player,
absolutely.
but now he knows proper techniques, and what you get is what you pay for.
That's exactly.
And you don't hire somebody that doesn't really know.
And that's what happens. Those guys don't know, but they can, common sense, if you have any at all, tells you that here's a bolt.
Yeah.
If you take that bolt out, something's going to loosen up.
Right.
So eventually, I'm going to take this table, it's going to come apart or go together. Now, is it going to go together straight or crooked? Who knows? Who cares?
Right.
But that's what we're fighting.
Right.
Okay? With the average person, that lady that bought a table for her husband,
Yeah.
this guy's got all the pockets everywhere, but they don't know.
Right.
There it is. It's beautiful. It looks perfect. And that's what I'm saying. See, I've been training a couple guys to index the cloth. You have to measure the cloth all the way down on the one side. You put your anchor on, lock it down, and your pool side goes to that mark to the edge of the cloth. That way the Simone's cloth is
Everything
absolutely square and straight. When you build your rails individually on the table and put your castings and lock them in and fit them, and then you move your rails around and lock them down. Now the playing surface is perfect, and then you bring your blinds up.
Everybody wants to do it the fast and easy way because they're,
If you flip that rail, you're looking for trouble.
whatever I'm getting is what I get. So if it takes me 4 hours or 8 hours, I'm still getting paid the same. So they just want to get in and out.
Now, with a diamond table, you can flip it. Because diamond tables are CNC'd
Okay.
and they're cut as a unit.
Okay.
You cannot interchange a diamond table.
Oh.
You cannot take this long rail and put it on the other long rail. You can't do it.
They don't work.
They won't fit. These Brunswicks, Gandys, all of that, like Brunswick, these are interchangeable with any Brunswick.
Sure.
I mean, if you got a Gold Crown 5, you can switch all the rails, they all fit.
Right.
Okay, they'll all line back up, but you have to line them up. That was the purpose of me putting this 45-degree casting on this 5 when I designed it. So you quit pushing the rails in and out. See how they fit in snug and they stay there?
Yeah. If it's off, you're going to see the gap on the casting.
That's right. That's right.
And you see that on the old tables where you have a half-inch gap on some of them. We're like, that's not right.
That's
but
exactly right.
That's.
But they got the 90-degree casting.
Mm-hmm.
So people can push the rails any way they want, jockey them and everything. That's what I changed on this Gold Crown 5. So the rail cap locks down in one position. So that keeps the rail square.
So when you were first kind of getting into the table, did you learn anything from the table mechanics, like growing up in pool rooms? Did you watch somebody go, how did you do this? And did anybody show you stuff that kind of
I worked for a vending company.
brought you along?
I
So
worked
you
for a vending
learned a lot just on the job training.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I learned some tricks of the trade. Back in the day, we used to use a little piece of cloth that would be a facing in front of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they had this can of glue. It was called barge glue.
Yeah.
And it had a screw on top with the brush inside.
Yeah.
Well, that was the mechanics' drain glue. It's the worst glue on the market. I mean, these mechanics still use it. It's like, oh my God, this guy got barge glue. Well, back in my day, we would do that with the pocket liner because we would split that cloth.
Yeah.
Okay, and I still split the cloth today. And the reason being, and I'll explain that, but back in the day, you had rubber back cloth, so you could only pull it so far.
Okay.
Well, as that cloth would split, it looked like a pumpkin smiling, but if you'd have that pad behind, it would camouflage.
It would hide it, right?
It would camouflage it. So when you put the table on the pocket and everything, it's sort of, you have to look real close.
Yeah. I know.
When you index Simona's cloth, okay, or championship cloth, whatever you want. Now, championship cloth is a totally different cloth. It has a lot of stretch. So you can get full coverage mostly in the pockets.
Okay.
Okay. With Simona's, it'll stretch so far and stop. Okay. So you index it, and when you put the top on the table, the top of the cloth, so that it's nice and square and all the grain lines up, because balls will follow the grain.
Sure, you see that on a lot of things, you see that snake in the cloth where it's
Absolutely.
pull, but it's
Right. So if you get this straight and everything's square and tight, you can't get coverage in the pocket. You can only get coverage past the slate.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Because you put the pockets in last, and you glue them, and you get it, and you staple that, and it's got that smile in there. Instead of putting that cloth behind, which some people do, one guy come out with this French fold. It's a piece of strapping tape, and it's got the cloth on there. So you staple that in and fold it over, and
you have a nice clean.
And you got a nice clean French cuff.
Right, beautiful.
Camouflages that split,
Mhm.
but that split's going to be there, unless if someone gets full coverage, they'll tell you, "Oh, I can get full coverage with Simona's cloth." I'm sure you can, because you're doing the
You're
pockets.
overflowing.
Well, you're doing the pockets before you're doing the bed.
Okay.
So they'll lock in the side pocket, they'll go that corner, that side, this corner, that corner, that corner, and then wherever the rest of the cloth, just pull and get it on.
Got it.
But the cloth is like this.
Right, if you look at the grain.
If you look at the grain, it's just like this all the way
So,
down.
note for you at home, or you folks, whenever you go to a pool room, look at the grain. You'll know how well the table was covered. If you see a lot of snakes looking, it wasn't done by Mark. If you see it nice and straight, you know it was done properly.
That's exactly
So
right.
that's a good piece of information for a lot of people, even mechanics that think they're doing a good job. Mental note is watch that grain. And make
Oh,
sure
yeah,
it's straight.
absolutely. And the bad thing is, and I'm not here to knock anybody's product, Championship's cloth is so thick.
Yeah.
And that's why people, oh, I want Championship, because it lasts
Gets more
longer.
play out of it.
Okay. By it being thicker, now, let's get that cloth on crooked.
Mm.
it really follows, because now the way a ball plays on championship cloth, it will track that way.
Okay.
So if a ball's hit so many times, it's going to track and track and track. So when the ball starts looking like it rolled off, it's tracking that thick cloth.
Following the grain.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yes, and to prove it, we had a tournament up there at the place that I used to hang 10 years ago. And it was sponsored by Championship, so we put Championship cloth on. And we had gold crown fives. And, I mean, I use 8 stair levels when I level a table. Everybody uses 1, I use 8. So, the table's rolling off. It's rolling off. For the whole tournament, all the table's rolling off. I'm like, man, Jesus. You know, so the owner was a good friend of mine, John. And he's, after the tournament, he says, man, you got to level these tables. I said, man, I'm telling you, I level them. So we took the top off, took the cloth off, and the slate was still real clean because it was only on there for 4 days to clean.
Right.
I put all the levels around there, table was perfect. This is how I learned and taught myself about the cloth. Table was perfect. I'm like, what? So we put Simonis back on. I didn't touch a wedge.
Didn't have to do anything.
I didn't do nothing. I took that cloth off, put the Simonis cloth on, and the table rolled perfect. I mean, no table rolls perfect, but rolled perfect.
Right, it was, yeah, you know it's 99%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that showed me right there that I didn't index the championship cloth. That gave me the knowledge to say, hey, this cloth has to be indexed, because I could see the grain
Right.
doing like that, and the ball was following it.
Sure, okay.
So it looked, I mean, it was like you had a trick ball. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? So that taught me there, and that's how you know, if you pay attention, you're gonna learn.
Right.
You're gonna learn.
Learn by your mistakes, because like you said, it's, if you're willing to take the pride in your work, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the table, it's not me, you know.
That's exactly right.
So,
But things are, you know, you learn as you go.
yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna learn.
well, fantastic. Well, Mark, we certainly appreciate, you know, spending some time with us, and look forward to a lot more of your great work. I mean, your tables are just incredible.
No, I appreciate that. You got one.
I do have one, I do have one. Folks,
I appreciate it.
Derby City doesn't have anything. This is the true master of the table, because this guy can do anything to a pool table that makes it better than factory. Better than you. My money's on you. So.
I don't know if it's something to be proud of or not. You know, what do you do for a living? I fix pool tables.
But you know what? When you take pride in your work, it's always something to be proud of. And you are far and above. You know, your work and craftsmanship shows nothing but pride in your work.
Well, I appreciate that.
So fantastic. So, folks, Mark Gregory, Perfect Pockets with a Z. Don't forget it. Get your tables done. If you need something, contact him. If you want to learn something, contact him. If you have a question, he might not get back to you right away because he's a busy guy, but you know what? If you gotta ask a question, ask from the guy that knows the answer.
I get calls all the time. I tell people all the time, I say, you know, you don't have to get work done from me to answer a question.
Right.
So I will help you.
And that says a lot about you sharing your knowledge, because knowledge is everything, and you take pride in the industry.
I wish I had someone to teach me. Listen, I made a lot of mistakes growing up, trying to figure this shit out.
That's life as we go, right?
Yep.
Folks, Mark Gregory, thank you so much.